it's been an extremely busy quarter for a couple of different reasons. We had very exciting news this last week. We both closed a very large financing of $9 million in shares and a possible 15 million more if the warrants are exercised in the next 12 months, which was very exciting for us. That really gives us a very strong balance sheet going forward and a lot of runway to reach the milestones which we're expecting in the next few quarters. And one of those milestones is clinical data. We had the first clinical data through with our new improved discovery grade assays, which was in a smaller trial in prostate cancer, where we showed we picked 94% of the all-important high-grade cancers, the cancers most likely to kill you, as opposed to low-grade cancers and everything else. So it was a very big quarter from that point of view. And we also had a lot of work that's been undertaken and bearing fruit now in changing our assays from ones of research to ones of product. So they're moving through the discovery grade process. Discovery grade means the assays are great for clinical trials and for clinical publications, and the product assays are shippable worldwide and can be used in any lab, so robust and a long shelf life. So all of that work's been going on in the background, and it's taken a massive effort from the team. The team is much bigger than it ever has been. We now have over 30 people working in Belgium, whereas only a few years ago we had about half a dozen. So it's been a massive growth for us to get all this work done. Prostate cancer is a very common cancer. It's the second most common cancer in men, and therefore fourth overall, because obviously women don't get it. So currently it's diagnosed either with the PSA, the prostate specific antigen, which is a blood test. Not a great blood test, but it's used very widely because it's a low-cost blood test like ours aims to be, in combination with biopsies and also a digital rectal exam. So the problem with detection of prostate cancer is not finding early stage cancer, but distinguishing between cancers which you would leave alone and those which are very likely to kill you. So the PSA is not very good at that at all. So what tends to happen is people are diagnosed with the cancer and then no one really knows if it's aggressive or not. What this panel we have now shown in the small trial, we absolutely need to do a bigger trial, which we're in the process now of trying to secure, but it appears to show very well, showing aggressive cancer versus everything else, which is really an incredibly important question, which helps save a lot of biopsies and really target the people which need the treatment, not everybody else. So it's extremely encouraging, but we have to temper it with the fact that it was 84 patients samples. We need to do more work, but for where we are at the moment, it was extremely encouraging. And as far as the next steps, because it's been screened for over 20 years with blood tests, the prostate cancer, there are a lot of trials out there that have been collected prospectively in the past to answer these questions. So we don't expect any problem in finding backup trials quite quickly. And because of all the work we've done in colorectal cancer, we will have the assays which we used for this trial in the very final stage of the product assays by the end of this year. So early next year, the rubber could really hit the road for these large trials, and if they're successful, these products. And it would add a lot of good to the treatment of prostate cancer if this early data is reproduced. Endometriosis is a very common disease which affects about 10% of women and can lead to infertility. They think about half of female infertility is from endometriosis. The tragedy is it now takes about 8 to 10 years to diagnose if you actually have it, because there's no non-invasive test available for it. We've collected with Oxford University in the United Kingdom, in England, 350 patient samples from women with endometriosis collected at different times in their menstrual cycle to see if there are different levels of nucleosomes at different times in the cycle, which all makes perfect sense, but we don't know if it is actually clinically valid or not. We are running our discovery grade assays through this trial currently. We expect to have data in the next few quarters that we can hopefully announce, hopefully good results. If our educated guesses on this are accurate, I think it could be a product quite quickly as well, because the assays were developed for the colorectal side are valid for this population as well. So very exciting, a great institution we're working with, and the data will be the data, and we expect to announce it in the next few quarters. Volition started its work with bought antibodies and a very simple method of making assays. But as we've developed a lot more knowledge of nucleosomes and also the field has really caught up, we've got better and better in making these tests analytically valid, which means they can be reproduced, it's very robust. You measure the same thing with the same numbers again and again anywhere in the world reproducibly. Now, to do that, we've had to have our own antibodies developed, so they're monoclonal. That's been a lot of work. Also, obviously, if you're going to have a valid test, having a good calibrant is extremely important. Something is a common ruler to measure it for today, tomorrow, and the years to come. In the last 18 months, that's actually become possible with the artificial nucleosomes called recombinant nucleosomes. It's actually really cool. They put together 8 histones with DNA and make an artificial target, which means you know exactly what you're measuring and reproducibly, robustly. We've had to adapt all of our tests to this new calibrant for the discovery level of product. And once it's gone through that stage, we then validate it for a product, meaning it has to be robust, reproducible, worldwide, and on a lot of different platforms. So that's a long process. This can be 47 different experiments to go from one stage to the other. And if you have to repeat some, it can be over 100 experiments from moving from one phase to the next. So we are doing 48 different assays at the moment in various stages of completion. So that's a huge amount of work, one which our team has done an excellent job on, but it has delayed the process and has delayed our frontline trials until we have enough assays of this very good product grade to really make a meaningful product. And we've decided to do no more work in these large trials until we are very, very happy with every single one of the ones we need. So it's a lot of work, it's been a fantastic effort, but it's taken a lot of time to get this done right. Volition's focus has been very much on colorectal for the last year, and we have done a lot of work in getting these assays finally validated for the triage product and also for the frontline test. And it has taken longer than we expected to do all that very, very important groundbreaking work that no one else has ever really done before. So we expect to have data from the triage test products from the Danish samples by the end of this year. And then in the first half of next year, we aim to have data from the frontline test, which is the frontline test, which is 4, 5 or 6 different assays. And then about a quarter after each of those, we'd expect to have the big trials finished and the CE marked product. We have a huge number of upcoming milestones coming from now. Our assays are through the discovery, a lot of it through the discovery phase, and we're then validating them. Once the assays have gone through each of those phases, we are doing a lot of trials with the discovery assays, again, proof of concept, and also publications in a clinical journal. We expect data from the endometriosis. We're also doing a small European cohort from a different country of 300 samples, which we expect to release information on as well. We also have data from the ongoing prostate work. We're aiming to sign up some bigger trials relatively shortly, which we'll announce, we aim quite quickly. And also the frontline trials, which I described earlier from the Danish samples. Also, the collection is ongoing for the large US trial and for the 2 large trials in Asia, the 2 large Taiwanese trials. And we're also expecting data from the Bonn 27 cancer study to show the breadth in a range of cancers. And also we have a range of smaller trials underway as well with discovery grade assays. So a huge amount of work's going on, and it's going to speed up as we've developed the assays from this level. They're also viable for the research kits as well. So we'll be getting revenue from those kits, and we'll add more and more research kits as they become available. So a large number of discovery trials, a large number of product trials, and also research kits. It's a lot of work going on, and it's a huge amount of work, and the team's done a great job.